How many more mornings are you going to wake up, grab your phone, and waste the first hour of your life scrolling through someone else's? Be honest. You say you want more money, more freedom, more respect, more peace. But the first thing you do every single day is surrender your mind to notifications, messages, meaningless videos, and people who don't even know you exist. Wake the hell up. You're not tired because life is hard. You're tired because you're distracted. You're drained because your focus is scattered into 1,000 tiny pieces. Every scroll is a small surrender. Every just 5 more minutes is a quiet agreement to stay average. And the scary part? You don't even feel it happening. You wake up at 7, you check your phone. It's 7:45. You rush, you complain, you say you don't have time to work on yourself. You don't have time to go to the gym. You don't have time to build that business. You don't have time to learn a new skill. But you had time to scroll. You had time to watch other people live the life you say you want. Nobody is coming to save you from this. Not your parents, not your friends, not your boss, not some miracle opportunity. There is no hidden door that suddenly opens because you deserve it. The world does not reward potential. It rewards action. Brutal, consistent, uncomfortable action. And right now, you're comfortable. Too comfortable. Your bed is warm, your phone is entertaining, your excuses are logical, your environment doesn't challenge you. You've built a life that feels safe, but it's slowly killing your ambition. You say you're waiting for the right time. The right time is a myth. There is no magical Monday where you suddenly feel disciplined. There's no perfect January where motivation floods your veins. There is no clean moment where fear disappears. You act while scared, or you stay stuck. That's it. Look at your last year. Seriously. Think about it. Did you grow, or did you repeat? Same habits, same routines, same complaints, same late nights, same empty promises to yourself. I'll start tomorrow. I'll be serious next week. After this month, I'll change. Damn. How many tomorrows have you burned already? You're not lazy. That's the truth nobody tells you. You're addicted to comfort. You're addicted to easy dopamine. You're addicted to avoiding discomfort. And in modern life, it's easier than ever to stay numb. Your phone is a comfort machine. Your streaming apps are comfort machines. Your junk food is a comfort machine. Your excuses are comfort machines. And comfort is the enemy of transformation. The dangerous thing about wasting your life isn't that it feels painful. It's that it feels normal. You don't wake up one day and say, I'm ruining my future. No, you wake up and say, I'm just relaxing. You tell yourself you deserve a break. You tell yourself you'll start later. You tell yourself you're still young. But every day you delay growth, you train your brain to avoid pressure. Every time you choose easy, you weaken your discipline. Every time you say screw it, you carve that phrase deeper into your identity. And identity is everything. If you keep acting like someone who avoids hard things, you become someone who avoids hard things. If you keep escaping discomfort, you become fragile. And life does not care about your fragility. Life will test you anyway. Bills will come, rejection will come, failure will come, loss will come. The question is not whether pain will show up. The question is whether you'll be strong enough when it does. Right now, you're training yourself to escape instead of endure. You feel stressed? You scroll. You feel bored? You scroll. You feel insecure? You scroll. You feel overwhelmed? You distract yourself. You're not solving your problems, you're muting them. And muted problems grow in silence. Wake up. You don't need more motivation. You need a decision. A violent, uncomfortable, no more excuses decision that says, I'm done wasting my damn life. Because here's the brutal truth.
Every day you waste is a day you'll never get back. There's no refund on time. There's no rewind button of your 20s, your 30s, your prime. Time doesn't care how confused you feel. It keeps moving. And if you don't take control of your days will control you. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. It's about waking up and asking yourself, what am I actually building? Because if you're not building something, you're decaying. And deep down, you already know which one you're doing.
How many more nights are you going to lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, feeling that quiet panic creeping in? That little voice whispering, "You're behind." You try to ignore it. You grab your phone again. One more scroll, one more video, one more distraction to shut that voice up. But it never really shuts up, does it? Because deep down, you know you're capable of more. And that's what hurts. It's not that you don't have talent. It's not that you're stupid. It's not that the world is completely against you. It's that you keep betraying your own potential. Every time you promise yourself you'll change and don't. Every time you say you'll wake up early and hit snooze. Every time you plan your goals and then spend 3 hours watching other people chase theirs. That's not laziness. That's self-betrayal. And self-betrayal destroys confidence faster than failure ever could. You think confidence comes from hype, from affirmations, from listening to motivational speeches? No. Confidence comes from keeping promises to yourself. Small ones. Wake up when you said you would. Go to the gym when you don't feel like it. Work on your craft when nobody is watching. Turn off the damn phone when your brain begs for easy dopamine. Every time you follow through, you build evidence. Evidence that you are disciplined. Evidence that you are serious. Evidence that you are not just another talker. Right now, your brain doesn't trust you because you've trained it not to. You say, "Tomorrow I'll start." Your brain rolls its eyes. You say, "This time I'm serious." Your brain remembers the last 10 times you said that. You want to know why you feel stuck? Because you don't respect your own word anymore. And if you don't respect your word, why should anyone else? Wake the hell up. This isn't about impressing the world. This is about rebuilding trust with yourself. The modern world is built to keep you weak. Endless content, endless comfort, endless comparison. You open social media and instantly see someone richer, fitter, smarter, further ahead. And instead of using that as fuel, you use it as an excuse. They had better opportunities. They got lucky. They have connections. They started earlier. Maybe, maybe not. But here's the part you don't want to hear. Even if all that is true, it changes nothing about what you have to do. You still have to work. You still have to build. You still have to endure boredom. You still have to face rejection. You still have to show up when you don't feel like it. Nobody is coming. There is no secret mentor waiting around the corner, no billionaire uncle, no perfect timing, no cosmic sign. There is only you, your habits, and the clock ticking in the background. And the clock does not care about your feelings. You keep saying you're waiting to feel ready. You won't. Readiness is built through action, not thought. You don't think your way into discipline, you act your way into it. You don't wait for confidence, you create it by doing hard things repeatedly. And yes, it's uncomfortable. It's supposed to be. Growth feels like friction. It feels awkward. It feels slow in the beginning. That's why most people quit. They want fast results, fast validation, fast proof. But real transformation? It's boring. It's waking up and doing the same hard thing again. It's choosing water over soda. It's choosing the gym over the couch. It's choosing study over scrolling. It's choosing long-term power over short-term pleasure. Day after day after day. No applause, no fireworks, no dramatic moment. Just quiet, consistent war against your weaker self. And here's the truth you've been avoiding. The life you want is on the other side of the habits you refuse to build. You don't lack dreams. You lack discipline. You don't lack ideas. You lack execution.
You don't lack potential. You lack daily standards. And standards are everything. If your standard is good enough, you live a good enough life. If your standard is comfortable, you will stay comfortable. If your standard is I'll try, you will always try and rarely win. Raise the damn standard. Decide that average is no longer acceptable. Decide that wasting hours is no longer acceptable. Decide that being mentally weak when things get hard is no longer acceptable. Because the moment you raise your standards, your behavior has to follow. It won't be easy. You will feel resistance. Your brain will scream. Your body will crave comfort. Your old habits will fight back. Good. That means you're finally stepping out of the cage you built. This is the part where most people retreat. They feel the discomfort and say, screw it, this is too much. Don't be most people. Be the one who stays. Be the one who keeps going when it's inconvenient. Be the one who chooses growth over comfort. Because one day, you're going to look back at this version of yourself, the distracted, procrastinating, excuse-making version, and you're going to realize something painful. You were never incapable. You were just asleep. And the moment you decide to wake up, everything starts to change.
You know what's crazy? You're not exhausted from doing too much. You're exhausted from doing nothing that matters. Let that sink in. You spent your days busy, always doing something, answering messages, watching content, planning things you never start, talking about ideas you never execute. Busy, but not productive. There's a difference. Being busy feels safe. It makes you feel like you're moving, but movement without direction is just noise. You can run in circles for years and still end up exactly where you started. And that's what scares you. Not failure, stagnation. That quiet realization that 5 years passed and you're still the same person with slightly different problems. Wake up. The comfort zone is not comfortable. It's addictive, and addiction doesn't feel dangerous in the beginning. It feels familiar, predictable, safe. You wake up, same routine, same job, same habits, same thoughts, same complaints. You know exactly what your day will look like. No surprises, no risk. But also, no growth. The comfort zone slowly shrinks your world. It convinces you that this is just how life is. It tells you to lower your expectations. It whispers, be realistic. Be realistic, according to who? The people who gave up? The friends who mock ambition because they're afraid? The coworkers who count down hours until Friday? Don't let average people define what's realistic for you. Your mind is stronger than you've allowed it to be, but you've trained it to run from pressure. Every time you avoid a difficult conversation, every time you delay that project, every time you say, I'm not ready, every time you choose Netflix over discipline, you're reinforcing weakness. And weakness compounds, just like strength. Here's the brutal truth. Your brain doesn't care about your dreams. It cares about comfort and survival. It wants what's easy, what's familiar, what's immediately rewarding. Scrolling gives you quick dopamine. Junk food gives you quick dopamine. Avoiding hard tasks gives you relief. But relief is not progress. Relief is temporary escape. And you've built a life around escape. Escape from discomfort, escape from responsibility, escape from the fear of failing, escape from the fear of looking stupid. You don't start because you're afraid you won't be good enough. You don't speak up because you're afraid of judgment. You don't chase bigger goals because you're afraid to lose. So, you stay small, safe, predictable. But here's the twist nobody talks about. Staying small doesn't protect you from pain. It guarantees a different kind of pain. Regret. Regret is heavier than failure. Failure stings for a moment. Regret lingers for decades. Imagine being 60 years old, looking back, knowing you had energy, time, and opportunity, and you traded it for comfort and scrolling. That's terrifying. You think you have time. You don't. Not unlimited time. Your 20s, 30s, 40s, they're not just numbers. They're windows. Windows where your energy is high, your learning is fast, your risk tolerance is strong. And you're using that window
to refresh your feed. Wake the hell up. You keep waiting for some dramatic turning point, some rock-bottom moment, some crisis that forces you to change. But what if the real tragedy is that nothing dramatic happens? What if life just slowly drifts by? No explosion, no disaster, just quiet mediocrity. That's how most dreams die, not with a bang, with comfort. You don't need to hit rock bottom to change. You need clarity. Clarity that this version of you, the distracted, hesitant, half-committed version, is not your final form. But clarity alone is not enough. You need discipline. You need to learn to sit in discomfort without escaping. When you feel bored, don't reach for the phone. When you feel resistance, lean into the task. When you feel fear, take the step anyway. That's how you rewire yourself. Not with motivation, with repetition. Every hard thing you do builds mental calluses. Every time you choose long-term over short-term, you strengthen your identity. And identity is the foundation. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your standards. Right now, your standards are negotiable. You negotiate with your alarm, you negotiate with your workout, you negotiate with your focus, you negotiate with your promises. Stop negotiating. Set the standard, follow it, no debate. That's how you start transforming. Not overnight, but daily. Because the truth is simple. Your life will not dramatically improve because you watched one video. It will improve because you decided that enough is enough and then proved it with action, over and over. You want a different life? Then you need to become a different person. And that starts the moment you stop making excuses and start taking control.
Let's talk about control. You keep saying you want control of your life, but you can't even control your impulses. That's the hard truth. You say you want freedom, but you're a slave to notifications. You say you want success, but you can't sit still for 30 minutes without checking your phone. You say you want respect, but you don't even respect your own time. Wake up. Control isn't some big dramatic moment where you flip a switch and suddenly become unstoppable. Control is small. It's choosing not to open that app. It's finishing what you started. It's showing up when it's inconvenient. It's doing the work when no one is clapping. That's power. Right now, your life is reactive. You wake up and react. You check messages and react. You scroll and react. You respond to whatever the world throws at you. You're not leading your life, you're responding to it. And when you live in reaction mode, you slowly lose direction. You start forgetting what you actually want. You start chasing what looks good instead of what matters. You start living based on other people's expectations. And then one day you wake up and think, how did I get here? You got there because you never decided. You drifted. Drifting feels harmless, but drifting leads somewhere, and most of the time it leads to average. You want transformation? Then stop drifting. Decide who you are. Not emotionally, not temporarily, not when you feel inspired. Decide when you're tired. Decide when you're bored. Decide when nobody's watching. Because that's when your real identity shows up. You don't become strong when life is easy. You become strong when you choose discipline in moments where quitting would be easier. And let's be real. Quitting is easy. It's easy to say, I'll start tomorrow. It's easy to skip one workout. It's easy to waste one night. But 1 turns into 10. 10 turns into a year turns into a lifestyle. That's how people wake up a decade later confused about where their ambition went. It didn't disappear. You traded it for comfort, for distraction, for temporary pleasure. And now you feel empty because deep down you know you're meant for more. But here's what nobody wants to admit. Becoming more requires losing parts of yourself. You have to lose the lazy habits. You have to lose the weak mindset. You have to lose the identity of I'll try. You have to lose the need for constant entertainment. Growth demands sacrifice. You can't keep your current habits and expect a different life. That's delusion. You can't stay up until 2 a.m. scrolling and expect to wake up energized and focused. You can't avoid discomfort and expect to become resilient.
You can't blame circumstances and expect to become powerful. Power starts with ownership. Ownership of your time, ownership of your habits, ownership of your failures. Stop blaming the algorithm. Stop blaming your boss. Stop blaming your past. Stop blaming your lack of motivation. Even if those things are real, they don't change what you must do. You still have to get up. You still have to work. You still have to push. You still have to choose discipline over comfort. Nobody is coming. No one is going to knock on your door and say, "Hey, it's time to become the person you could be." That's on you. And the moment you fully accept that, not emotionally, but logically, something shifts. You stop waiting. You stop hoping. You start acting. Not perfectly, not dramatically, but consistently. And consistency is brutal in the beginning. You won't see results fast enough. You'll doubt yourself. You'll feel stupid. You'll question whether it's worth it. Good. That's the fire. That's the pressure that forges you. You think mentally strong people don't feel doubt? They do. They just don't let doubt decide. They feel fear and move anyway. They feel tired and show up anyway. They feel tempted and say no anyway. That's control. And control builds confidence. The kind of confidence that doesn't need validation. The kind that doesn't crumble under pressure. The kind that walks into hard situations and doesn't flinch. That version of you exists, but it's buried under layers of comfort and excuses. Strip them off, one habit at a time, one decision at a time, one disciplined action at a time. Because the longer you delay becoming strong, the harder life will hit you when it forces you to be. And life will force you. The only question is whether you prepare now or suffer later.
Let me ask you something that might sting. If your life stayed exactly the same for the next 5 years, would you be proud? Same habits, same income, same body, same mindset, same excuses. No dramatic collapse, no huge disaster, just the same. Does that excite you, or does that scare you? Because this is the path you're on if you don't change anything. You don't accidentally build a powerful life. You don't randomly wake up disciplined. You don't drift into greatness. You drift into mediocrity. And mediocrity is comfortable enough to tolerate, but painful enough to regret. That's the trap. You won't feel massive pain today. You'll feel small discomfort, small guilt, small frustration. And that's easy to ignore. But stack those small days for years, now you're looking at a life that feels heavy, unfulfilled, frustrating. And you won't be able to blame anyone, because deep down you knew. You knew when you hit snooze. You knew when you chose distraction. You knew when you avoided the hard conversation. You knew when you played small. There was always a voice. You just kept silencing it. Wake the hell up. The voice isn't your enemy. It's your conscience. It's the part of you that refuses to settle. But here's the uncomfortable part. If you ignore that voice long enough, it gets quieter. That's how people lose their edge. They don't suddenly decide to give up on their dreams. They just slowly lower the bar, slowly accept less, slowly adjust to average. I guess this is fine. I don't need that much. It's not that bad. That's how fire turns into ash. And the worst part? You start resenting people who still have the fire. You call them unrealistic, obsessive, lucky, delusional. But really, you're just mad because they're doing what you're afraid to commit to. Transformation is not convenient. It will isolate you sometimes. It will make you say no to things others say yes to. It will require you to be misunderstood. It will demand that you push when everyone else relaxes. You want to become mentally strong? Then get comfortable being uncomfortable. Not for a day, not for a week, as a lifestyle. Because strength is built in repetition. You don't become resilient by reading about resilience. You become resilient by facing pressure and not folding. You don't become disciplined by talking about goals. You become disciplined by executing when you don't feel like it. And this is where the shift happens. At first, discipline feels like punishment. Waking up early feels painful. Working out feels exhausting. Saying no to distractions feels restrictive.
But over time, it becomes empowering because every disciplined action is proof that you're in control, proof that you're not a victim of impulse, proof that you can override weakness, and that proof builds identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone trying. You start seeing yourself as someone who does. And that shift changes everything. When you identify as disciplined, you don't debate workouts, you just train. When you identify as focused, you don't negotiate with distractions, you eliminate them. When you identify as strong, you don't panic under pressure, you respond. Identity drives behavior. Right now, your identity might be built around comfort. It might be built around, I'll start soon. It might be built around, I'm not that type of person. That's not who you are. That's who you've practiced being, and you can practice something else. Every day is a vote. Every decision is a vote, for the weaker version of you or the stronger one. You don't need to change your entire life overnight. You need to stop voting for weakness. Stop reinforcing the version of you that hides. Stop feeding the habits that drain you. Stop giving energy to things that don't move you forward. Because here's the reality. Time is moving whether you're improving or not. Your competition, the disciplined version of you that could exist, is waiting. The question is simple. Are you going to keep watching your life happen, or are you finally going to take it?
Here's the moment that changes everything. It's not dramatic. It's not loud. It doesn't come with music or applause. It's quiet. It's the moment you finally accept one brutal truth. No one is coming, and no one is responsible for the life you're living except you. Not your parents, not your past, not your circumstances, not your anxiety, not the economy, not the algorithm. You. And that realization can either crush you or free you. Because if it's all on you, that means the power is also yours. You've been waiting for permission, waiting to feel ready, waiting for confidence, waiting for motivation to magically show up and carry you into discipline. That's fantasy. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes like a mood. Discipline is different. Discipline is a decision repeated so many times that it becomes automatic. And the shift starts now. Not tomorrow, not next month. Now. You don't need a new year. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need to feel fearless. You need to act. Right after this. Because the longer you sit with inspiration without action, the weaker it becomes. Inspiration without execution turns into guilt. So move. Delete the app that drains you. Set the alarm and actually mean it. Start the project even if it's messy. Go to the gym even if you feel out of shape. Have the conversation you've been avoiding. Small actions, immediate action. That's how you break the cycle. You've been stuck in a loop. Think big, feel motivated, delay action, feel guilty, escape with distraction. Repeat. Break the loop. Think less, do more. You're not tired because you're doing too much. You're tired because you're not aligned with who you know you could be. There's a stronger version of you that doesn't waste hours, that doesn't fold under pressure, that doesn't need constant validation, that doesn't negotiate with excuses. That version isn't fictional. It's built. And it's built through friction, through early mornings, through uncomfortable growth, through lonely discipline, through choosing long-term power over short-term pleasure. You say you want a better life. Understand this. A better life demands a better you, and a better you is created in the decisions nobody sees, in the hours you could have wasted but didn't, in the moments you wanted to quit but stayed, in the days you felt average but performed anyway. That's how self-respect is built. And once you build real self-respect, something shifts inside you. You stop chasing approval. You stop fearing judgment. You stop shrinking yourself to fit in. Because you know what you've endured. You know what you've sacrificed. You know the discipline behind your confidence. That kind of strength cannot be faked. And here's the final truth. Wasting your life isn't one big mistake. It's a collection of small, daily decisions that feel harmless. So is transformation. It's not one giant leap. It's small, ruthless decisions made consistently. You don't need to become perfect. You need to become intentional. Stop drifting. Stop negotiating with weakness. Stop waiting. You have one life, one timeline, one shot at building something you're proud of. Years from now, you will either thank yourself or resent yourself. The choice is being made right now. Wake up, take control, and stop wasting your damn life.